Let's bring in our next guest now, former special assistant to President Trump, Kelly Sadler. All right, we're going to have, okay, let's go to Kelly now, who is live with us in Washington, D.C. Kelly, how are you this morning? Or this afternoon, I should say.
Good, how are you doing? This afternoon, yeah.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. So now we got Mike Bloomberg out of the way. He's backing Joe Biden here. And, one thing we're really also seeing here, we're going to see, of course, this blood feud between the far left branch of the Democrats and also the establishment wing. That's already taking shape here. But something else, Kelly, I think we're going to see, too, is fighting inside of this far left faction, right? Because, this is a real failure and a setback for them, especially for people like AOC. We're going to talk about more of this in Texas. But, she failed to really throw her weight around last night. And, a lot of these Justice Democrats have got to be wondering what is the path ahead for them.
Absolutely. When you look at the state of Texas, we saw massive turnout. Donald Trump got more votes than any other president in the last 40 years in an uncontested primary. He has more votes, more people came out to vote for him than the top 4 Democratic contenders combined. And so what we're seeing here is that Sanders' base isn't as energetic as the left or as the socialist part of the party would like you to believe. Turnout was actually not as high among, the youth in these college towns, but it was in suburban America. We saw that in the state of Texas. We saw that in Virginia as well. And these folks want a more establishment candidate on the Democratic side, and so they went for Joe Biden.
And, we also, Kelly, if you look at the Republican primaries, too, and we're going to talk more about this coming up later in the show, but, Republicans actually continue to kind of reject the establishment in their races. And a perfect example of that is down in Alabama, where you have Jeff Sessions, by all accounts, was a respected member of the U.S. Senate, had a lot of remaining establishment support for him to go back to Washington, D.C., in this very important race, because this is up against Doug Jones, the Democratic senator in Alabama. But we saw Tommy Tuberville, the former Auburn head football coach, go into a primary with Jeff Sessions. President Trump weighing in on this today. This is what he had to say. This is what happens to someone who loyally gets appointed Attorney General of the United States and then doesn't have the wisdom or courage to stare down and end the phony Russia witch hunt. Kelly, we know how much influence President Trump has in Alabama. I mean, it's probably maybe the reddest state in the country. When he's weighing in on this already, this has got to be a huge, huge boost for Tommy Tuberville and a bad, bad day for Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jeff Sessions didn't want. But the Republican Party is really the president's party. He has transformed the Republican Party, and he's got overwhelming support. 97% of Republicans back this president, and they back his agenda. And we've seen results from his agenda. Despite all of these, the Russian collusion hoax, all of the stuff that they want to throw at this president, he has a record of accomplishments that he's going to run on. And so we're seeing, and he has the ability to turn people out. So if you back the president and you're down ticket, I think you're going to have a very good November.
And also, we've seen this. President Trump loves college football, and college football loves President Trump. One of the places we know he's going to get a booming round of applause when he shows up. Kelly, great to see you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.